quickly, let's talk about politics, because your political future suddenly became a subject of controversy recently when Sulaiman Nagogo reportedly announced that you intend to contest for the Nasarawa North senatorial seat in 2027. In fact, he claimed that he got a crystal clear message from you. And then we heard from your chief press secretary describing the report as false and misleading. I'd like you to personally address this.
Well, you see, since first, let me make it clear that when I had a show, not on this TV station, another TV station, on the day that I won my Supreme Court judgment, you know, I believe my friend asked on a show similar to this that, are you going to run for Senate? And I told him categorically no, you know, because that's not the issue. As a matter of fact, about 6 months ago, I started even some quiet campaigns for a good friend of mine that I believe from my zone that deserves to be the senator. But then since then, you know, the way politics is, so many people have approached me, including this gentleman who happens to be a good friend of mine anyway. So he came and asked me, you know, I say, how can I? Because I have already made a public statement that I will not do this. He said, no, I want you to do that. I say, sir, I cannot give you any categorical statement. I already said I'm not going to do that. So he went and had some meetings with his friends. And I think when they push him, now he proved to them that he can convince me, you know, to come and run. And because he had a meeting with me, you know, before going. He did have a meeting with me, but he didn't get any answer from me. Instead, what he did was to tell them he had a meeting with me. And that's why if you look at it, he withdrew his statement that I never directed him, and I never did. That's the correct thing. So, and it's not only him. I had over 10 different people or groups that had come to me asking about Senate. And I keep telling them, I have not even been 2 years in office yet. So why even rush about this position for Senate or this and that? You know, it's as far as I'm concerned, I intend to make this my last 2 years to be the best 2 years that I have ever put in government since
absolutely,
my 8 years
but
ago.
I also know that you are not politically naive, because 2 years to 2027, you know, campaigns have indirectly started. So you said no 2 years ago, but you are now under pressure. Are you likely to say yes to a senatorial bid?
I don't know. I'm still on the campaign train for my friend, who I believe very strongly that he deserves that position from our zone. I'm still working on that, but I'm still also working on him. He has not yet accepted that he wants to go. You know, so I'm still working on him. So I think it's very dicey right now for me to tell you yes or no.
All right. But it sounds like the usual political narrative I've heard, you know, covering politics in Nigeria, Governor Sule. But I guess we'll find time to discuss this subsequently. As we approached May 29, how do you want history to remember Governor Sule? If your tenure ended today, what would be the one unfinished business that keeps you up at night?
Well, number one, I came in with this mantra that industrialization of Nasarawa State to create employment and economic empowerment of our people. I came in with full-fledged agricultural idea. And one of the biggest, being my background, I came in with ensuring that Nasarawa State becomes an oil-producing state. You know, and I have worked so hard in that area. I have worked with the NMPC, I have worked with some of the oil service companies, I have worked with some of the investors in the E&P sector, because that is my background. So, and we have not been successful. So far, it's only the exploration well that has been drilled. And believe me, it is not my responsibility, but I have gone to the extent of even trying to see if I can find investors who can visit the NMPC and take over the block, get this thing, and go into a full-fledged exploration exercise and go even into development of the oil block. These are some of the unfinished businesses that I have in Nasarawa State.
But might be a good place to leave it. Governor Abdullahi Sule, Governor of Nasarawa State, thank you so much for coming again on the show. Hopefully we'll talk to you sometime soon.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.